modern stereos lost the excitement of vintage systems? The sands of time have claimed some truly impressive pieces that today people are rediscovering for their workplaces, fancy bars, man caves, and even coastal retreats. Pieces like this were masterfully crafted by Onkyo engineers in their prime for the perfect intermingling of sound and aesthetics. They hid secret functionality, and many are still highly sought after all these years later. Today, I'll guide you through the most interesting features of this Onkyo Intec 205 stack and ask the question, is it still good today? First, we'll discuss the unicorn in the room. The venerated Onkyo MD-105FX is one of only 2 HighMD decks that were ever produced. While Sony produced many portable HighMD recorders and some bookshelf systems, these 2 systems are the end game as far as best recording goes, if you believe the old statement, recording on decks is best. In case you didn't know, HighMD was the only format capable of recording 16-bit, 44.1 kHz discs in glorious, uncompressed, linear PCM, absolutely annihilating that complaint that MiniDisc was trash because it was a compressed format. Of course, as we all know, HighMD arrived too late. This is not a NetMD unit, so you can't connect your computer via a USB cable and transfer your high-res audio files quickly, as with portables. That's no downside for me, as I mostly record in real time from high-resolution stream. It's a pure source, as the software reports the highest quality they have from 16-bit 44.1 kHz through strange frequencies like 88 kHz all the way up to 192 kHz. The MD-105 has an onboard sampling rate converter, but it's always better to reduce burden on the unit and send a CD quality signal. Make sure on your software and OS are locked to 16-bit 44.1 kHz, or else you'll receive a DIN unlock error on the unit. I'm using my Theo K3 USB DAC via Toslink. You can do synchro recording by pressing the record button twice. Play the song and it will pick up the digital stream once playing. Obviously, you won't see subcode track markers embedded in the stream from a CD, for example. This is nigh impossible to get from a computer. Most people who record from their computer in this way just use the MiniDisc level sync function on their deck to do auto track marks by placing a silent 3-second track between each song. CD dubbing is the easiest of all options when it comes to recording. When you think about it, in 2008, this is the main way people would get music onto MiniDisc. Just plug in your Toslink cable from your CD player into Digital 1 and select that source. Press CD dubbing and the system will scan the entire CD. In the manual it says the system is scanning the CD to find the peak levels, which is very handy as I've not seen that before. The real downside with CD dubbing on this system is there's no track names. It's pretty universal with Sony systems that if you have CD and MD systems together, the CD text will be transferred to the MiniDisc. But there really aren't that many CDs with CD text, so you're not missing out on much. I would just stick it in your NetMD recorder and title them quickly in the computer after it's done. Most controls you need are accessible directly from the front panel, especially since I don't have the remote control for this unit, but I don't really need it as the amp's remote control is absolutely brilliant and so well designed, to the point where you really don't need the very lackluster MiniDisc remote. I feel genuinely spoiled having this on my desk, paired with my PSB Alpha B1 speakers, arguably the kings of the affordable audiophile speaker. Honestly, if I'd have heard this setup as a younger man, back when I was using those dirty $20 Logitech speakers, I think I would have thrown them out the window. The front panel is a mini version of an audiophile amplifier with no display, which is just gorgeous. Switching is precise, and if you're connected with the RI interconnects, you can press play on each item and it automatically switches. You get full bass and treble controls, plus a super bass option, which is pretty unnecessary as I have a sub connected to the RCA subwoofer output, which was just a free Yamaha sub that came from an old home theatre system. It's not the best, but it adds a good deal of punch, and I wanted this to be a bassy system. As I hinted at before, the amp's remote is phenomenal. It's clearly been thought through by Onkyo's best and seamlessly controls all components connected via the RI interconnects, play, fast forward, volume, input switching, all from one place. It's very well thought out. The amp itself features a large machine steel volume knob, motorized and illuminated in beautiful blue when powered on. Not every remote button is used though, and that brings us to something interesting. Onkyo made some fantastic graphic equalizers for their earlier systems, and those were stuck with the plastic buttons and the orange displays. I kept wondering, did they ever release one for the FX generation? Then I noticed something on the back of the amp. PC EQ? So I opened the Intec catalogue and, my goodness, there is an Onkyo audio PC with high-res audio and dual mono Burr Brown DACs. I just had to get one, so I imported a Sotec HDC-1L from Japan. They're extremely rare, and this one came with the keyboard, mouse, manuals, OEM software, all original. Once set up, I was immediately impressed. It can be operated completely headlessly, and pressing the BGM button opens a random file album and plays it through. You can keep pressing that button until you find an album you're interested in. However, adding a monitor allows you more control of playlists, albums, artists, etc. You can also open all songs and press random. Pure Space, the specialized software, is a clean, electric blue front end for Windows Media Player. It's serviceable, but it's slow. But I just love the look of it, so it's a pass. The remote is excellent, though you will need Google Translate because it's entirely in Japanese. The operating system is also locked to Japanese, as it's Windows XP Home, and the language packs were only available on the Pro version. So unless you read Japanese, you better get comfortable with pointing your phone at the screen and reading that way. Internally, it's basically an Intel Atom laptop crammed into a 205mm wide hi-fi component. It runs at 1.6 GHz, it's single core and with only 1 GB of RAM. But boy does it have a beefy sound card, and that's all it really needs, I guess. You use Windows Media Player to import music onto the hard drive. I had a large collection of files I'd purchased directly from artists over the years, and I'd been waiting for a way to play them outside of the sterile world of a computer desktop. And this works fine, but of course there are other ways to play your high-res files within a hi-fi stack. But seriously, this is just way too much fun. There is one baffling design choice to this whole audio PC thing. That lovely PC input is not for the audio PC. The audio PC shows up as tape or CDR on the amp. I'm sure this is the kind of bureaucratic decision that had Onkyo engineers almost wanting to quit their jobs. Press DVD on the remote and up pops Power DVD, a genuine blast from the past. My Region 2 NTSC anime DVDs worked perfectly. It's probably region locked, but like most drives of the era, it almost certainly allows a few region changes. This unit has great resolution. It's slightly on the analytical side, but not much. However, rock and blues displayed rich tonality, found mainly in analog music. That was very pleasant to listen to. The highs shine, and these were handled beautifully. I'm actually very sensitive to sibilants, and I love the sound of these. Nothing sounded ever screechy or overly high. It's got heaps of power. I've never really taken it above 50% because it would just blow your eardrums. It's very powerful. However, there is a sweet spot where it just sounds amazing, but I guess that's the same with most amplifiers. But the combination of these speakers and this amp and the audio PC, it can truly soar, even if it is over 20 years old. Onkyo bought Sotec because they realized people were listening to music on computers, and they absolutely hated the noise. Onkyo achieved what they set out to achieve in that they made an absolutely silent computer. And this is surprising to me because I've had a lot of digital to analog converters which always made a little bit of noise. But even in the quiet moments in music, when listening to the HDC-1L, you can't hear any buzzing or any artifacts from the USB. It's utterly silent and it just makes the experience so magical. So who is this system for? I mean, anyone who really wants to be the envy of all their friends. But this stack would look incredible in a man cave, as I said before, or on a desk at work, and it'd be fantastic at a beach house. Probably not an Airbnb, as you'd be the only one who knows how to use it. This is Dad's jukebox. It's brilliant for parties and dinner nights. So just let it play. I love having it next to my computer, just playing back high-res streaming as I work, but I also record MiniDisc from it as well, and find that modularity extremely useful. It's also great to have everything at the tip of your fingers, and turning that big volume knob is just a joy. Believe it or not, it doesn't feel weird or wasteful having an old PC next to your modern PC. If you think about it as a music jukebox, it's just instant music fast. Overall, I feel genuinely sad that technology like this doesn't get made anymore. Every piece in this stack feels deliberate, thoughtful, and part of a whole. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.